fight our country's battles in the air, on land and sea. First to fight for right and freedom, and to keep our honor clean. We are proud to claim the title of United States Marine. Our flags unfurled to every breeze from dawn.
And I got here my mentors, father figures, uncle figures, boss, Sargent Major Kent. And I will let him give his introduction. So Sergeant Major, who are you?
But first of all, thank you for having me on the show with you. And first of all, before I speak about myself, I think it's very important for me to speak about great Americans like you, what I call the warrior class. And you have sacrificed so much for this nation, but you still stand focused. And you give us spirit. I mean, you give us life. And it's warriors like you that I want to thank for continuing the great legacy of the Marine Corps since 1775. Every opportunity that I get, I want to speak about all the Marines that have sacrificed over the last 18, 19 years of, like continuous combat that I've witnessed over my time. And it's warriors like you that make the Marine Corps. So I am not going to speak about myself till I speak about you and those other, what I call the warrior class. So thank you for having me on my show. Just a little bit of background about me. I was born in Memphis, Tennessee, and raised by a single mom, raised 6 of us. I had 5 other siblings. My dad was a World War II veteran, served in the Army, and unfortunately, I didn't get an opportunity to really get to know him because he passed away when I was an early age. So my mom, she never got remarried. So I give a lot of credit to her for raising 6 of us, and she had some bumps and bruises with her kids, but she raised us the right way. And she gave us that type of spirit and the type of mentality that we got to always do the right things for the right reasons. So a lot of that credit go to my mom. And I joined the Marine Corps straight out of high school. In 1975, I graduated from high school. The name of the high school was Southside High School on the south side of Memphis. And I came out of there knowing that I wanted to do something different with my life, knowing that I wanted to be some bigger than myself. So I decided to join the Marine Corps based on this one gunnery sergeant that used to come to our high school and talk to us about joining the Marine Corps. And he was a great example. And he was a highly decorated veteran. I was just thoroughly impressed with him. And what made me join the Marine Corps really was him challenging us one day when he came to my high school, and he pulled us aside, me and a few others, and say, let me tell you something. I'm not going to promise you things like education. I'm not going to promise you a bonus, because I don't think any of you all are able to make it through the Marine Corps. You cannot earn the title. So I think he tricked us, at least me, to join the Marine Corps by challenging me. And that's what I did. And I can tell you, this gunnery sergeant stayed with me throughout my career. He checked in with me, and he stayed with me for the next 36 years, checking in up on me every day. And he was a great example of a father figure for me, and a great example of a Marine leader. And I joined the Marine Corps throughout my career. I served across the MAGTF with numerous type jobs. Served in billets as a sergeant major. I was a sergeant major for 18 years, so I served in different billets as a sergeant major. And every billet that I served in as a sergeant major, it was just an honor for me to serve with great warriors like you and many others. I served on special duty assignments, and people ask me about going back and doing all over again. And I would go back and do it all over again, because the Marine Corps gave me those tools that I needed in my life. On top of my mother giving me the tools prior to me joining the Marine Corps. And also, I put my faith in God in everything I do. And my family is a big plus for me. I've been knowing my wife since the 7th grade, and she know my secrets more than anybody. So, but I've been knowing her, love her, and she's always been there for me. So that's my life story.
Okay, all right. Appreciate that, Sergeant. And question would be, so who are you, or how did you get to where you are today?
How did I get to? I mean, that's a great question. Like I mentioned earlier during our conversation, one was my mom. I mean, she instilled the things in me that I needed, to get through life, where to start off my life. And I give a lot of credit to her. I mean, she was a God-fearing woman, but she was a tough woman. I mean, she didn't take any crap from us or anybody else. And she gave me that guidance that I needed. And then, the Corps really instilled a lot of things into me. When I came in the Marine Corps, it was a lot of veterans, that was around from Vietnam. And a lot of those guys just left a great impression on me. I mean, from the time I was a young Marine all the way up to a staff NCO, a junior staff NCO. And one of those Marines stood out was a Marine by the name of Alan J. Kellogg. If you read up on him, you'll know that he's a Medal of Honor recipient out of Vietnam. Awesome leader. He took me under his wing, showed me a lot of things, and he wasn't just the only one. I can list probably hundreds of Marines that have gave me my guidance throughout my career, and that's what it's about. I mean, that's what it's about. As far as the Marine Corps family, is to take people under your wing, because you want them to be, successful in life. So I learned that at an early age in the Corps as a very junior, hard charging devil dog in the Corps, that that you want people to to be successful. So the way that you make that happen, you have to mentor them. You have to motivate them. You have to give them the tools. And hopefully I did that over my 36 years. And I know that there's a lot of Marines out there that's still in the Marine Corps that I serve with, and they're doing a great job today. A lot of them is a lot more senior, to include senior officers and senior staff NCOs. And I'm very proud of the Marine Corps today, because like I said earlier, you left a great legacy, just like many others since 1775. And I always tell people it's no such thing as old Corps, new Corps. It's the same Marine Corps. And it is. I mean, I don't doubt, that these Marines today are going to live up to the war fighting legacy. If they call, if the Red Star cluster go up and they call to go fight a battle or go to combat, they are going to succeed, because they'll never want to let that legacy down that came before them. So just to answer your question from the beginning, and I said all that just to say it was those Marines in my life, the leaders in my life. It was my mother. It was my wife. It was my daughters. It was my family. And most important, it was my God that gave me the guidance that I needed to get me through life, gave me the faith and the strength.
Mm-hmm. All right. Before I ask you the final question, let me just add real quick, great mentor and very humble person. It's in the part that's in the title. Like he said, he was a Sergeant Major for 18 years. Not only was he a Sergeant Major, he was also the 16th Sergeant Major of the Marine Corps. In case I forgot to add that at the beginning. And any business and or life advice for the...
Yeah. I mean, the life advice is just continue to do the right things for the right reasons. And, as far as business life, I started a service disabled veteran-owned small business with 2 other veterans back about 12 years ago. And our focus was to employ veterans and their family members to federal contracts. And we had a passion for that because, me and my business partners all had served in the military, and we have served and we've seen the sacrifices and the dedication of those service members. And we started the companies focusing on employing veterans to federal contracts and their family. And that's the only reason why we stood up our company. And now we're going very strong in our company, and we got a bunch of veterans and family members, like they are supporting the federal government and DOD across the contracts. And what I could say to any veteran, I mean, the sky's the limit for you. When you transition off active duty, don't let anybody tell you that you cannot do anything, because veterans stand out from their counterparts, people that never served. You just imagine this, less than 1% of Americans serve in the military, less than 1%. So you less than 1% of that warrior class that I spoke of earlier. And when you transition out to military, don't ever sell yourself short, because you can do whatever you want to. You can start a business, you can start whatever you want to, and you will be successful, long as you keep that same mentality that you had while you was in the military. And that's the focus of doing the right things for the right reason. And I always go back to the very basics for me, is the 14th leadership traits and principles of our Marine Corps. And everybody know that acronym, JJ, did, tie, buckle. And long as you use that throughout your life, you're going to be just fine. And just never forget that you don't get places by yourself. You got a lot of, supporting cast around you. I did not make it from private to the 16th Sargent Major Marine Corps by myself. I had a lot of great warriors around me, and I'm very proud to say that. And I'm very proud to say that I continue to serve for these warriors. It's not about me, and I want to continue to do that. But
Warlord,
you asked me that question. My advice to them, don't change anything. Always continue to focus the same way you focused in the military, and you use the same leadership styles as you transition out, and the sky is the limit for you out here. I mean, this was never my goal to start a federal contracting business at all, but we felt it was the right thing to do, because we wanted to employ veterans and their families to federal contracts, and God has blessed us to continue to do that. And you was on one of our teams, so you know how that worked, and we appreciate you coming on our team back in the day. So again, thank you, just like thanks to every warrior out there, because America needs to understand the sacrifices, the dedication of these great Americans that continue to raise their right hand, and they continue to join the military. And our nation is going to be great for many, many years because of great warriors like you and many others that's out there. And there's millions of them out there. So.
All right. Well, like always, Sergeant Major, thank you. Thank you for your time. Thank you for being who you are.
All right, thank you. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
God bless and simplify.
God bless and simplify.
Okay.
Setting sun, we have fought in every clime and place where we could take a gun. In the snow of far-off northern lands and in sunny tropic seas, you will find us all.